During the examination, we may need to slightly adjust the parameters if necessary. The Vetus E7 parameter adjusting zones are mainly on the control panel and the touchscreen. The parameters can be adjusted by tapping triangles on the left and right side directly, or the adjustment can be made by rotating the multifunction key after the pinion icon appear. The frozen and stored images and video clips can also be adjusted. In B mode, the most frequent adjusted parameters are depth, image quality, gain, and dynamic range. Vetus E7 uses a full field focus, so no focus adjustment is needed. Parameters such as current frequency, F, depth, D, gain, G, and dynamic range, DR, will display in the upper left corner of the display. The depth key is used to adjust the scanning depth. Improper depth will cause an unclear display of the target organ. Generally, the target organ occupies 1/2 of the image or more. An excessively high depth affects the frame rate, but an insufficient depth causes difficulties for the examination. Change THI and frequency by the combination of tapping pinion icon and the rotation of multifunction key. You can also tap the triangles on the left and right side of the image quality key to adjust. The lower the frequency, the better the penetration, but the resolution becomes weaker. The higher the frequency, the better the resolution, but the penetration will become weaker. The depth can be adjusted according to the conditions of the animal and target depth. Try to choose a higher frequency while maintaining the right penetration. The gain is used to adjust the image brightness. It includes the total gain and the TGC gain. The total gain is used to adjust the brightness of the entire image. Details will be lost with incorrect brightness. The TGC gain is used to adjust the brightness of different depths. When coordinated with the total gain, the image will be adjusted uniformly. The TGC of Vetus E7 is on the touchscreen. Use a single finger in contact with the screen and slide to the expected spot for the adjustment. Tap the dynamic range key on the touchscreen to adjust in a similar way to the frequency adjustment. The dynamic range can affect the contrast and fineness of the image. The larger the dynamic range is, the finer the image, but the worse the contrast is, the smaller the dynamic range is. The better the contrast, but the rougher the image is. If two images need to be displayed for a comparison during scanning, just tap the dual key. Tap it again to switch window. Tap B to go back to single image mode. Besides B mode, Vetus E7 also features standard configuration of other commonly used modes, including M, C, P, and PW. You can enter the desired mode by pressing the corresponding keys on the operating panel. Functions like CW, TDI, Comment, iScan Helper, and the ECG switch can be used by touching and holding the blank area and adding them to the touchscreen. or they can be activated by user define. Before entering any other modes, you need to obtain a good B mode image first. M mode is mainly used to observe the movement trajectory of moving organs over time. Press the M key to enter M mode. Adjust the sample line to a proper position and then press the M key, update key to start scanning. In M mode, common parameters include M gain and scanning speed. In M mode, rotate the gain knob to change the gains and adjust the waveform brightness. Tap scanning speed on the touch screen to adjust the number of waveforms displayed. Press C to enter the color mode. Slide across the touchpad to adjust ROI position. Press the touchpad or set key. When ROI is displayed as dotted lines, adjust the ROI size by sliding across the touchpad. Press Set to set the adjustment. Generally, ROI box just covers our target region. It will affect the frame rate if it is too large. In color mode, common parameters include color gain and scale. Rotate the gain knob to adjust the blood flow gain and modify the richness of blood flow. Too much gain will cause blood overflow. Too little gain shows no blood filling. Tap the scale key on the touchscreen to adjust the speed range of the displayed blood flow. With a large scale, the low-speed blood flow will be filtered out, and the blood flow shows no filling. With a small scale, the low-speed blood flow shows too much and will cause overflow. Therefore, depending on the blood flow to be observed, it is acceptable to adjust the blood flow until it is filling but not overflowing. Power mode is mainly used to display the energy of erythrocytes with higher sensitivity and is capable of displaying extremely tiny blood flows. The adjustment is similar to that in color mode. PW mode is mainly used to measure low-speed blood flow. Tap the PW key to enter. Slide across the touchpad to adjust the position of the sample line. Tap the SV key on the touchscreen to adjust the size of the sample volume. If necessary, rotate the angle so that it is parallel to the direction of blood flow, usually less than 60 degrees for abdominal vessels and less than 15 degrees for cardiac vessels to generate a relatively accurate result. After adjustment, tap the PW Update key to start acquisition. Update key can also be used for real-time switching between PW mode and B mode. In PW mode, main parameters include gain, baseline, scale, and scanning speed. Rotate the gain to adjust the spectrum gain. Tap the baseline on the touchscreen to adjust the baseline to an appropriate position. Tap the scale on the touchscreen to change the spectrum height. The larger the scale, the lower the spectrum becomes. The smaller the scale, the higher the spectrum becomes. Adjust the spectrum to be completely displayed by combining scale and baseline. Tap the scanning speed key on the touchscreen to change the number of spectrums displayed. CW mode is used to measure high-speed blood flow, for example, regurgitation. The adjustment is similar to that in PW mode. Press Freeze to pause the scan after acquiring good images. Tap the Cine key on the touchscreen to enter the playback interface. Tap the Auto Playback key to start/stop movie playback and adjust the speed. Rotating multifunction key after the auto playback key becomes a pinion icon can also control the playing speed. Slide across the touchpad to capture the best frame you need. Press the Save key to store the current frame. Press the P1 key to save the video retrospectively. You can also customize your own keys.